Oke, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Oke,
wabarakatuh.
good evening, Miss Didi. Should I call you Miss Didi or Miji? Miji?
I am Nijis.
Okay, Miss Mrs. Didi.
Yes.
I will introduce myself. My name is Anissa Priyati from PhD Lincoln University College, Malaysia. Today I already informed to you that we will do the discuss or in-depth interview with my research about nursing education to improve public knowledge of the risk associated with consuming illegal herbal medicine through e-commerce in Indonesia. And how are you today?
Alhamdulillah, perfectly fine. Inshallah.
Okay, alhamdulillah.
What about you?
I'm okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we start, I want to know how long you become a nurse for your job as a nurse.
It's been 15 years and still counting.
15 years
Yes.
in RSUD Siti Fatima.
Siti Fatima, this is my 8 years.
Okay. Before in RSUD Siti Fatima, where you has been?
I've been work abroad actually at 2010 until 2013. I've worked in Ministry of Health Saudi Arabia.
Wow. You have a lot of experience.
Not that much experience.
Okay. Okay, I will start for our in-depth interview. First, I want to know about your perspective as a nurse regarding the use of illegal herbal medicine so freely on e-commerce platforms by patients with chronic disease. First, do you think this is a common issue among your patients? Did you ever meet some kind of this trend and issue about patients who have chronic disease and then they have the history using the herbal illegal, something like that?
Okay. Actually, it's been maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I've been meet the patient who already get worse because his bad habit actually because the patient is he believes I don't know maybe the perspective is different because he really believes that parents advice or maybe culture what is it? Their culture habit is a good this is the best way to improve their health status. So their parents I when I ask the patient how could you be like this I think because yes in my opinion this what I say in Indonesian they call it jamu.
Okay.
This is simply just like herbal medicine. Herbal drink.
Okay.
Herbal drink like that. They believe it can support their immune system and so on like that. But after a couple of months, and then later on, the side effect, the bad effect, he feel the bad effect because of this illegal herbal drink. Herbal medicine like that.
Okay. Next question. How do patients usually justify their use of this product? It's mean that like based on your experience when you meet the patient, what do you think why the patient using this? Why? Using the herbal illegal medicine?
Because this is their beliefness, I think.
Okay,
because
the
they really believe that this is the best one. This is the best one, and also family also give advice for them that this is the good one, and it will not impact your health, you don't infect your health, and this is the natural ingredient. This is the best one rather than the chemical from hospital, from doctor, from the medical prescription, because they believe with this issue, so they use the herbal to treat their medical problem.
Okay. The next question, what are your concerns as a healthcare provider? I mean, as a healthcare, as a nurse, what you concern about this turn and issue as a nurse?
Yeah, as a nurse, maybe because sorry, our concern is we have to educate the patient. There are so many ways to educate, to give some education, sharing knowledge with the patient. I mean, we have to concern that we need to change their perspective. Just just like that. I mean, because they are too they believe with advice from family, with information from maybe from how I say in English, mythical things. Sometimes this leaves is good from because few years ago the their grandma is I mean get better when they use the some kind of leaves. Then this it can make sense because there is so mythical things with these leaves, because and it cannot be proved by medical concern. I think I mean it cannot be proved with apa sih penelitiannya, with it cannot be proved with medical standard. I think, so we have to concern to educate the patient.
Okay. Okay. I will clarify a little bit. So you mean that because of the culture, the grandma, or they have a habit from advice from their family that this medical it's good, this herbs it's good, so you can use this for improve your health, like that. Okay. Okay, next question. I will ask about, have you encountered patients who have experienced complication with the chronic disease after using the medical herbs? Or they have problems sometimes, some kinds of, like, they have history using that herbs medical illegal, that if you have this experience carrying that patient, how did you handle the situation based on your experience?
Okay. I think just like I said before, it's been 2 or 3 years ago. I think I treat the patient. This is with renal failure, with the renal failure. He has bad no, not bad habit. He has the patient drink the herbs, herbal drinks like that, routine. So he took it daily, maybe twice a day, twice, or if the pain is getting worse, he will take 3 or 5 times a day. He will drink the medical herbs. He said it call it jamu.
Okay.
Then when I see the patient, so I make assessment with the patient, and then I record it as our nursing note. Then I try to assess each and every data from the patient. So I know their best what I say. I know routinity for taking the herbal drinks, and then I report it. I inform it to the internist, Then when I know the problem, the nursing problem, for me as a nurse, I give education. So I educate the patient that it's not a good way to improve our health status because the product is used maybe this is not this is unregistered as like that. This is unregistered because there is no data to make sure that this is a good one. There is no research. There is no
research about
research, and there is no research to improve that this is good to impact our health status and like that. But it cannot be received directly by the patient because sometimes they still in their belief. It cannot be achieved by them freely like that. Sometimes they just they just hear, but it cannot be directly to change their perspective.
Okay. Based on your experience, can you describe the symptom from your patient after just like you said, there is renal failure. Okay, what symptom can you find from that patient?
Okay, the symptom before first is pain. She has colic abdomen.
Okay.
So maybe the pain scale 8/10 like that. This is because this is a severe pain, and then his abdomen become bigger, and then decreasing their sorry, he didn't will to take meal. Before he don't like to he cannot consume one portion of the meal. He cannot finish it like that with only half portion, and then later on he even don't want to take even one pinch, one spoon like that. Then the nutritional status getting worse. So the abdomen became ascites, and then yellowish on the eyeball, even the skin. So the skin became cracky and dry. But the most things that disturb the patient is pain because he feels painful on the abdomen. Then when the doctor make ultrasound of the abdomen, there is many things has been reported from the diagnostic that ultrasound diagnostic. They said there is also there is stone on the kidney. And then what I said, not only stone, also the from the laboratory check. The level of ureum or creatinine became high.
That's the symptom that based on your experience
from my patient.
From your patient. After that, what nursing action or intervention did you perform for the patient?
For me, sure, I make observation with the pain scale because we have to reduce the pain scale. The pain management. I do my first. I do my pain management. I try to educate to inhale, exhale, like that, and then to another and collaboration with another health worker to give prescription for just like painkiller or and anything else like that. Because they said I cannot make deal with this pain. It is so painful for me. So give me some painkiller. He said like that. And then so I try to for me when I make the pain management, I try to uh, observe the pain scale and then collaboration with other medical workers.
Okay.
And then for after the pain management, I educate the patient to stop to consume that herbs, this herbal drinks like that. Because when we giving the medication from the hospital, we have to follow the advice from the doctor or from another healthcare, because when we choose to treat the patient the patient uh, should be follow the instruction of the doctor like that.
Okay. Okay. Next, I will ask about, in your opinion as a nurse, why do patients tend to choose illegal herbal medicine despite lack of scientific evidence? Like you say, that why people just believe with their beliefs from advice family who not from healthcare or something like that, and not believe scientific evidence and potential risk. I will ask, is it related from the culture, economy, or lack of knowledge? From this case,
Sure.
based your uh, experience.
Sure, it really.
From the culture.
Yeah, from the culture, because sometimes a patient with uh, uh, how was it this down economic level,
Okay.
it will be easy to buy something cheap rather than
cheaper
because the herbal medicine sometimes mostly not sometimes mostly is cheaper than register drug or register medication. So because they only able to buy the cheap one maybe, so they will choose the product, the illegal product, the herbal product sometimes like that. And also even the even we sometimes they know, if sometimes they know the product is not good, but they just like you said, they believe that the product is good, and their family, their friends also use the same product, so they will follow it.
Okay, giving the advice
Giving
for using that.
this is good for you, just believe me, I've already tried this herbal, just like that.
Okay. Okay. What do you think? How influential is online marketing? We will move to the e-commerce. You know that trend and issue in Indonesia, almost people in Indonesia using e-commerce, right? And sometimes I find also that many patients that I already do in that interview also with some kind of patient from this RSUD Siti Fatima, they also using e-commerce. Okay. Based on your perspective as a nurse, uh, how can that e-commerce make people believe it to buy some kind of illegal herbal medicine in e-commerce? I mean, as a nurse, uh, you know that many people buy some kind of medicine or something like food, clothes, and others uh, using the e-commerce. So, my question is,
Why?
yes, why? Why they believe? Why they using e-commerce to buy some kind of that medicine that also they don't know it's unregistered or registered? What your opinion about this?
If you're asking me why, I think because this is easy, so easy to get the product. So
Okay.
when we are willing to choose some product, even this is the herbal medicine, they on, I mean, it will only take few click to get to get the product. So I think they choose the e-commerce because this is so easy, to have the product just by through to the e-commerce. Sometimes some marketplace didn't ask for prescription to buy the product. So as long as you have the money to buy the product, and then you follow the step to buy the product, the product will send to your home just like that.
Yeah.
So this is so easy, I think.
Okay, because of
Because the easy way to have that product, so they will choose the easy one. I think like that.
Okay.
Rather than if this is different from if they go to the hospital, they will register the absence. They will register. They will pay some more for administration fee, and then after that, and after all, it will become it will get back to the economic level. It will be more expensive rather than the e-commerce.
Okay, so that's why
I
your
think like
perspective
that.
easy to use, and then it's cheaper than they go to hospital or puskesmas or healthcare community, something like
And
that.
the procedure also simple.
Okay, okay.
They don't need to come. They don't need to
Okay.
register and like that. Even the patient I've been treated before, they said this is so easy. Even I go to the market, I can find the product. He said like that. That's why he already used it as a routine.
Uses e-commerce for their health. Okay. Next question: what challenge do you face when educating patients about the dangers of illegal herbal medicine? For example, as your experience carrying the renal failure patient, or maybe CKD, or just renal patient that was your patient?
It's already CKD stage 5.
Oh, okay.
And then on hemodialysis.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So he was already in stage renal disease.
Yes,
Okay.
stage.
Okay. Do patients usually accept or reject your inform from you have that patient, and then you said you giving the advice or education to that patient, and after you giving the education, what they do? I mean, they accept or they reject or something like that.
Okay, for personal acceptance, the patient maybe they can accept it, but not wholly accept like that. Sometimes in front of healthcare, when they give education, they will just okay. I will change my bad habit like that. But after the education session finish, they believe will come back again. I think. I mean, they will just believe it's okay to not to follow them. Sometimes they think like that. But some patients they will follow our advice. So this is it's not an easy way to change their perception.
So that's challenge. Your challenges. It's about you cannot control about their belief, and then they just say yes and not change too much.
Not whole, not whole.
Just their perspective. Okay.
I mean, some of the patients they will understand what we are talking about. What we are willingly to say to change their perspective. Because giving education, it's not about how to transfer our information, right? We have to change their habit. We have to change their belief, because their perception, because they have the wrong perception. I mean, because they believe with herbal unregistered something, another bad product, herbal medicine like that. So to change their perception, the patient acceptance. Yeah, we cannot we cannot change it
Okay.
wholly like that.
Okay. Next question. From your experience giving the education to the patient, what the limitation that you get when you giving the education? The limitation, like maybe material or some kind of time or something like that.
Many things can be challenged to give the education. But the first of all is their acceptance, I think.
Oh, the acceptance.
First is even we have a good material, even we have good video, good leaflet, we have provide some education information edition paper. If they are still believe with their beliefness,
Okay.
sometimes it doesn't make sense for them. So the limitation, I mean, yeah, the patient acceptance, the patient beliefness, I think this is the first of all, I think. And then not yeah, also time, also we don't have an extra time sometimes to maybe we have an time to educate the patient, but the patient is still in not a good condition to give to receive our information. Sometimes also they already have time to receive our information, to accept our advice, but we cannot inform them with inform them because we have also the limitation of time during educate the patient. Also the material. Sometimes we just use our mobile, our mobile phone to because this is not easy to brought our paper, our leaflet, our poster.
Okay.
Even video because we have to prepare.
Okay.
But the situation when we see the patient, we cannot bring the materials to educate the patient.
Okay, that's challenging to you when you want to giving the education properly.
Also, their education background, I think.
Education background. What do you mean?
I mean, if they well educated, it's easy to transfer our information.
Okay, the patient
Yes.
education.
Education.
Okay. Next question maybe. Okay. About the what educational strategies have you used to inform patient about the safe and legal use of medicine? First, I want to ask you about, do you use verbal explanation or poster or leaflet, especially when you giving the education?
At that patient
Education.
at this medical herb problem. Before I just verbal explanation.
Verbal explanation. Okay.
Because I don't have material. I don't have. I am not ready with any material to educate the patient. Because for another case, just like hand hygiene or vaccination, some kind of vaccination, I have the leaflet.
Okay.
Or so I can inform them and giving them the leaflet. But at that case, I just make explanation.
Giving verbal explanation. Okay. Have you ever used video, social media, or other digital tools before?
For the patient, for that patient or another one?
For the patient.
For the patient,
no, no chat.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Because I don't have. That's what I say. I don't have that video at the time.
Okay. Okay. Next question. Do you think that if ini as your perspective as a nurse, do you think that video or website based educational media, as we know, so many nurse or doctor or pharmacist using media social to giving education to all people in Indonesia or maybe another country also do that. that do you think that's effective to increase the public awareness, especially from that illegal herbs? What do you think about that?
Sure, it can, sure, because from social media platform, it can reach wide audience, wide patient. So
Okay.
even in the village, as long as they have connectivity or connection with the internet, they can reach our information.
Okay. What do you think about what feature do you think are important to giving when we giving the education? For example, do you think that the language and then simplicity or visual can giving more effect to the patient or no?
Sure,
Okay.
can give more effect as long as uh, the things is more attractive, they will
Watch.
give attention.
Okay,
Yes.
giving the
They will give the attention for us.
Okay, okay.
So if we provide the things while we give education, I think it will be more effective because they will pay attention for us.
Okay. Would your patient be willing and able to access these tools? Do you think that from RSUD Siti Fatima, based your perspective as a nurse, uh, is it okay using the digital platforms for that our patient or your patient?
So it's good
It's
as
good.
long as the video made by uh, good recommendation. I mean, from we don't when we make video, it's not about how to announce picture, how to make a good video, but we have to make good references from when we are making video. For example, if we are talking, if we educate the patient not to use and register medical health, because I think uh, some medical health has been registered by BPOM.
Okay.
But mostly it's not registered, unregistered.
Yes, yes.
But so when we give education or make video to educate the patient, it should be uh, good reference. I mean from WHO or from Ministry of Health, Ministry of Health of Indonesia. So not by the health worker perspective only.
Okay.
Because it's easy. When we make videos, we can share it directly. So all another people can see the video. So the main problem is if they make video not by good reference, not by licensed reference, and it will harm another people because because we educate another patient, educate each and every people.
Okay, I will clarify again. You mean that the good one for to education patient, we need to make a good reference on WHO and then BPOM.
Good and legal reference.
Okay, good and legal from the reference for our video something. Okay. Okay, next question about what role can nurse play in prevent the issue of illegal herbal medicine in the community? I mean, as a nurse, what our role to giving this information as a nurse, the role. I mean like this, from for example, as a nurse, we need giving the education or educator as a educator to prevent this case, right? To prevent some kind of bad habit using the illegal herbs. And then, what do you think about the role nurse as a nurse? How can we do about our role about this trend and issue. Our role to prevent this trend and issue about how people using the medicine herbs illegal.
I think
Role as a nurse.
our role as a nurse, maybe we have to improve our knowledge.
Okay.
Because we don't we didn't exposure with good information. Even us, even we as a nurse, sometimes we didn't exposure with information with good information about medical health, another medical issue like that. So we have to, I think we have to improve our knowledge, and then so if we have uh, information about the case, the problem, we can educate the patient.
Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay. So as a nurse, we can do just education, or we can do something like that.
Can I answer for?
Okay. Pause at a moment. Okay. Aku kita we continue again. Next question. Can nurses act as health educator in both clinical and community settings? Is it can or no?
Sure, it can.
Okay. Can you explain what kind of type we can do that?
Not maybe we can do health education. Like I said before, so education. And then sometimes we can make collaboration with other health workers, pharmacists, nutritionists,
Okay.
even doctor like that. To improve the knowledge for the patient. And also maybe we can make community research maybe
Okay.
to for example we go to another region, another small village to give education.
Like small community service, something like that. Okay.
Even even a family community, we can make education for them.
Okay. Okay, next question. How can nursing organization support this role, nursing role from the organization?
I've been with the even in Indonesia there is Indonesian Nursing Association like that, and they will spread into each province they will have
From district. Okay.
each district they will have Indonesian Association office like that in each and every province. So I have experience with this. I went to they make event maybe at Sunday or at the weekend. The in the nursing community they will provide they will make a health talk, something like that. Do you understand health talk? Like
Podcast, something like that.
like
Okay.
podcast or simply verbal education like that. So open discussion with
Like
community.
conference,
Yes,
seminar, something like
Yes,
that.
seminar.
Okay,
Even,
workshop, something.
talk show like that. Talk show. So even the people from other province, whoever come to that event, they can participate the event. They can ask the question. They can sometimes they can join the event. So at that event, many information will be given by the nurse.
Okay. Okay, I want to clarify a little bit about what the name of your nursing organization or your nursing associate. What we call in Indonesia?
In Indonesia, we call it PPNI.
Okay, can you
PPNI.
okay, can you describe the name of PPNI?
This, no, in Indonesia we call it PPNI. It stands for PPNI stands for Persatuan Perawat
Okay,
Nasional
okay,
Indonesia.
okay, okay.
So, nurse from Indonesia, uh, they unite
Okay.
with one organization,
Okay,
and
okay.
and this is known by government. The
Okay,
government
okay.
knows
About the PPNI.
about
Okay, okay. Last question about how would you assess the readiness of nurse, including yourself, to contribute the public education campaigns about the safe use of herbal medicine? You can have plan as a nurse. If you want to giving the education, what you will do?
First of all, I need to improve my knowledge first.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, it's okay.
Is that
Okay. Mhm.
because just like I said before I ed, uh, uh, because before I give any education, before I giving any information, health information, I need to improve myself first. So I need to improve my knowledge. I need to read some reference.
Mm.
Because nurse need support.
Okay.
We need support to improve our knowledge. Even for example, even from our institution, we have to we have to just like if there is seminar, conference that can impact our knowledge, it's okay to join
Okay.
with this event.
Okay. For your planning, did you think that you need to make a tools or you need tools to giving the education?
Sure, we need.
Okay, what kind of the tools do you think that you will using it to giving education to the patient? What kind of
Maybe multimedia
okay,
things because for just video
okay,
or voice recorder that can be spread so the patient or other people can hear it again and again.
mm-mm,
If just maybe a leaflet poster, it can make good impact, but it's difficult to carry and it's not handy. Sometimes
okay,
also this is we cannot reach another people. I mean,
okay,
the how is it name? The spreadiness
okay. To spreading
limited.
to
Limited.
all,
So
so
for leaflet, they will just know the information if they read the leaflet. If they didn't read the leaflet,
okay,
they will expose it with they will not expose with the
okay,
information. But if multimedia platform, like video or um, social media, voice recorder, anything, we can just send and spread the information.
Oh.
It will be more effective.
Okay. Uh, just like you said, you want to have get more improve your knowledge about more knowledge about herbal medicine, for example, like that. What kind of support or training do as a nurse you need? What kind of training or something like that?
Maybe we need to seminar about which medicine. Maybe first of all we have to know what is medicine. What is medicine? Herbal medicine. I need to know about herbal medicine. What with what is exactly herbal medicine. And then after we know about herbal medicine, we can improve our knowledge to know about what kind of them that this is good for us. So I think the herbal medicine, maybe it's not all of herbal medicine maybe bad for us. Maybe some of them, some kind of medical herbal is a good and safe for us. But if we don't listen the information from the uh, from the seminar or sharing session for to sharing knowledge from legal institution. Maybe we can improve our knowledge.
Okay. Okay. I think that's all about our in-depth interview.
This is all my perception.
Okay,
I
it's
don't know
okay.
exactly the word.
It's so nice and so thoughtful about your experience. Thank you for your sharing your experience, your caring to the patient like that. Okay, I think that's all about our in-depth interview. Thank you very much, Mrs. Didi. Uh, I will end from this station. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay.